Hello, and if you are an English learner living in North America and you would like to improve your pronunciation or have more of an American/Canadian accent, you've come to the perfect place. My name is Jessie. I'm an accent coach and I help English learners improve their pronunciation and have more of a native like accent. So today here is what's going on. We're going to have quick announcements. Then I'm going to be sharing the three harsh truths about being advanced in your accent reduction journey. Then I'll be sharing my struggles, yes, my struggles in reducing my accent because that's what I'm trying to do in my second language, which is where I live. Then I'll be responding to a Facebook comment that I saved, a YouTube comment, and then if we have time, we're going to do some shadow time. So if you are here live, feel free to ask questions. Of course, YouTube and Facebook get priority when there's questions. I do check TikTok every once in a while, but not a lot. So wherever these lines are, these little orange lines, that means I'm going to be looking at the comments and I will answer questions and look at your comments. So feel free to say hi, where you're joining from, and I can respond to you. So I'm just going to quickly mirror my camera on TikTok because I see it's backwards. But I'm going to be starting off with the three. No, we're not. We're doing quick announcements. So let's move into announcements. First of all, I have the Master the TH Sound Challenge. It's a 4-day challenge, Monday to Thursday. The TH sound is one of the most difficult sounds for English learners to master. So, that being said, I'm doing a 4-day challenge. The next one is going to be starting November 3rd. If you're interested, check my link in bio if you're on TikTok, or check my link down below, whatever video you're watching, and you can sign up to join us in the TH Mastery Challenge. Also, if you want to improve your pronunciation, your accent, I have a really cool group program, which I'm just gonna pop it up right here. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's this one. I have group accent coaching. There's 5 weeks. It's an intensive. I call it the boot camp, where we work on your accent to improve it. And it starts off with a one-on-one assessment, so I get to know your personal accent, your personal goals, and your personal struggles, your unique struggles. And then I make a personalized plan for the 5 weeks and beyond. The next 5-week group accent coaching program starts November 17th. So if that's something that interests you, it's coming up soon. So join us. And I think that's it for announcements. Of course, if you want to help me continue making videos, feel free to become a channel member or support me on Patreon. But let's get started. And we are going to be starting with the three harsh truths about being advanced in your accent reduction journey. So, this is for people who are English learners. Their accent isn't thick. They've put in a lot of work, but they're near the end and they're getting closer and closer to their accent goals, which might be, it depends on who you are, it might be a near native accent, or you want to have a native accent, an accent like a native speaker with an American accent. So the first one is the harsh truth number 1 is that your progress is going to slow down. In the beginning, I've talked about this. If this is like a graph, when you start improving your accent, there's a lot of a lot of progress, but once you get to the end, it starts slowing down. So, harsh truth number 1 is that it slows down and it's completely normal. It's frustrating, but it's normal. The second harsh truth is that you it could happen more in the beginning of your journey, but I'm thinking more specifically when you're at like the near the end stages, you start to have blind spots. I don't know if you know what blind spots are when it comes to driving a car, but when you're driving a car and you're looking in the mirror and behind there's like a blind spot where you can't see. And this happens to us in our English learning journey where we cannot hear what sounds off or incorrect, and we just can't see it. So, harsh truth number 2 is that you have blind spots. And in order to identify what sounds off, you usually need help from a native speaker, usually someone like an English teacher if they are able to do that, or an accent coach. So harsh truth number 2 is that you have blind spots. I'm going to see if I wrote anything else down in my book. just because I don't want to miss it. And this could be pronunciation issues with your blind spots. This could also be your rhythm and intonation. It could be a lot of things. And harsh truth number 3, this is something that I just noticed because I was listening to, I'm not going to say anyone's name, but a certain accent coach, and she has a very good American accent. But because she's actually learned English, so she's an English learner. English is not her first language, and she has a really good accent. But what I noticed, and I've noticed among other English learners who have an advanced level of English and, their accent, they're way advanced in their journey. Sometimes they are able to master, the stress and the rhythm and the intonation of English, but it sounds kind of like they only have like one, I don't know if it's like one range or one way of saying things. Sorry, my mic just went up really quick or really high really quick. But they're not able to, or they seem like they're kind of stuck in certain ways of saying things where they're not really playing with the different ways you can say things, the different, rhythms of saying words. Like they might just talk like this and just talk normal. Um, and that's just what it is. They might sound a little bit, I don't know what the word is, but just kind of like stiff because they're not really able to say, they're not able to play in the language and really use different ways of explaining things. Not that you have to talk like that, but sometimes I think people are able to master the stress, rhythm, and intonation, but they're scared to play with it. Okay, so that's kind of why I started the series of shadow time, where I will say things. You guys repeat after me to really work on your stress, intonation, and rhythm. And sometimes I will say it differently as well, just so that you guys can play with it and exaggerate. I think when you have mastered stress and intonation, it's a good idea sometimes to just like play with it. Listen to radio announcers and how animated they sound and see the different range of what a native speaker can sound like. So that's just the third harsh truth is that sometimes I feel like they're stuck in a range or just like a certain way of saying things where I don't know if they know how much they can explore and still sound like a native speaker. Yep, those are the 3 things. And of course, if you want to improve your accent, you want to make lasting changes and permanent changes to your accent, and you want to do it efficiently, I have a free guide with my 5 top tips, which will help you improve your accent faster, more efficiently, so that you can make permanent changes to your accent. So if you're interested, comment top tips, and I will share with you how to get my free guide. If you're watching this as a clip, feel free to click here. There should be a video popping up. So that was for a clip that I'm going to be making later. You guys are still here. There's no video here. But yeah, next, I'm going to check to see if there's any questions. You're an amazing teacher. You're so kind. I am from Canada. Josue? Is it Josue? Josue? Um, what's the main difference? Okay. I see a really hard question here. I'm not going to answer it though right now. Um, what book are you using? Mihal, what do you mean which book? Kuwai. I love to see where everyone's from. All right, I'm going to go to the next thing, and you guys may be surprised, but right now I'm going to be sharing with you my personal struggles in my own accent reduction journey because these might be some of the struggles that you guys have if you're on this journey as well. And just to be clear, English is my first language, but I am talking about my second language because I do not live in my first language. I live in my second language. So I just want to share some of the struggles that I have. So if you guys have watched my video, I think it was like, here's how I'm going to improve my accent without any help, not paying anybody. It's going to be free. I made that video probably like 6 months ago. And just a quick update, I did not improve my accent during that time. And I realized that, as I just mentioned in my previous clip, one, I have blind spots. I have blind spots in my second language, in my French, where if I listen to myself, I don't know what sounds off. I don't know what sounds wrong. And that's something that you guys may think as well in your English. You might say, I know I want to sound American or Canadian, but I don't know what sounds incorrect. If that's your goal, then it's incorrect. That's why I personally offer assessments to English learners. So if you check out my website, you can definitely get one of those to see what sounds off. But but back to my story, it's something that I'm like, I don't know what sounds off. And I honestly don't know how to practice. And even if I practice what I think is off, I still need feedback. So I ended up hiring somebody to help me improve my accent. So I would say my main struggles would be one, not being able to identify what sounds off, which is something you might feel in English, which is why I do offer assessments. Two, even when I practice and I know it's off, I don't know if I'm practicing it correctly or pronouncing it correctly. And why this is important is because when you're practicing things or when you're trying to change your accent, you want to practice the same thing over and over and over. Let's say it's a sound in order to build that muscle memory. And if you do not have feedback and you're pronouncing it incorrectly, you are transforming your accent, but you're incorrectly transforming your accent to something different, not your goal accent. So those are my struggles. One, not knowing what sounds off. Two, not knowing if I'm practicing it correctly. And then I guess, do I have any more? I wrote this down somewhere. Um, oh, and it's kind of a secret. I don't know if I've shared this yet. I want to start recording myself in my second language, and I made a YouTube channel, another YouTube channel where I am going to speak in French and then over time see if things change. So if you guys ever do that with your English, like you have a YouTube channel and you are keeping track of your English and trying to improve your accent, let me know because I'm creating my own accent journey YouTube channel. All right. And of course, as always, if you are trying to improve your accent and you want to improve it faster and more efficiently and make lasting and permanent changes to your accent, comment top tips and I will share with you how to get my free guide where I share my 5 top tips so that you can reach your accent goals faster and more efficiently. And of course, if you are watching this as a clip and a replay, a video will be popping up right here. All right. Simone Palma, good morning. And good morning, Mikael. Oh, it's Michael in English, I think, but Mikael am I saying that right for how your name is? And feel free to ask any questions as well. And any questions, I'll be checking the comments in my YouTube and Facebook. It's a little hard to read TikTok while I'm on here, but if I see something, I'll definitely, say something. So someone said, I know people say pop in Canada, which means soda in the US. Yes. Yes. So like Coca-Cola, root beer, Pepsi, we'll say pop. Could I have some pop? You know, and then yeah, soda in the USA. That's correct. Hola desde Toronto. Hola. I love it. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the plan. So I shared my struggle. Now I'm gonna be talking about a Facebook comment. I got a Facebook comment that I thought was really interesting. It was a question. And this person said something like, okay, I didn't do word for word, but I'm just summarizing it. I feel like I feel like I'm saying the words in English, but I don't feel the meaning. Like I'm just saying words, there's no meaning, I don't feel anything. Do you have any advice? And like can you how do you feel the words? Um this is my response because I'm just sharing my own experience. I speak English as a first language, French as a second language, Spanish is a third language, and I was trying to learn Ukrainian and I kind of put that on pause. Um, I know what you mean. Like when you are first learning a language and you're just kind of saying words and they just don't feel like they have any meaning. I feel like it with time as you use them in conversation, as you try to surround yourself in the language, I don't mean that you have to travel to a place. Some people think that they have to travel to the US or Canada to be immersed in English. You can create an immersive environment where you are. You can You can watch more television, YouTube videos in English. You can listen to the radio. So the more you kind of immerse yourself in English, the more you start to think in English, the more you start to dream in English, the more you start to, feel what the words mean. You stop translating from like, if I say this means this in English. I feel like the person who would ask this question probably translates in their head. I don't know if you'll see this, the person who asked, but if you feel like your words don't have meaning in English, tell me, do you translate to English? I'm trying to think when I was first learning French, when I translated it, I don't know if I really felt the meaning because I was like, this equals this. But as I started speaking and I was directly thinking in the language, I start to feel. I started to feel what these words mean. And it's really interesting because I I sometimes think in English. I can also think and dream in French. I can think in Spanish. I think I have dreamt in Spanish once or twice maybe. And when I was first learning Ukrainian, I would surround myself in Ukrainian, even though I don't understand it and I can only say like 3 or 4 sentences. I know I had one dream. I know I had one dream in Ukrainian. It was very limited. It was just the words that I knew. Those are words and phrases that I felt, and I knew what they felt like because I used them when I was practicing. So I'm hoping this helps. It takes time, but I really think that once you start to think in English and dream in English, you'll start to feel like the meaning of the words and you start to use them and see how they work in conversation. I think you'll start to feel it. So I'm hoping that helps. I'm going to check the comments out here. What is your usual episode, please? Usual episode. Do you mean like when do I normally go live? I'm starting to go live. I try to on Mondays. Okay. Something happened yesterday where I could not go live, but I tried to go live on Mondays because I used to make YouTube videos, edited videos, but I am in the middle of making a course, the Connected Speech Secrets course, which will be part of the Native Speaker Secrets bundle, which I will eventually sell. So I don't do a lot of videos. I just do lives now. But if you mean what do I normally cover in my episodes, I will do like quick announcements. I'll answer your questions. We'll practice some shadowings. And sometimes I do this Judge My Accent series where I listen to English learners and I judge their accent. Not in a mean way, but in a way where I help them see what sounds off and what they can work on. You're from Vietnam. Cool. I love this. Okay, so that is what you meant. Usually Mondays. Usually Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so Toronto time. I usually try to go live. And I know it's not Monday, it's Tuesday today. So, hi, good morning, hello, and good morning. All right. Now, I'm going to talk about a YouTube video YouTube comment. I had to judge my accents. Sorry. I had to judge my accent video where there was a girl from Hong Kong that was speaking, and I felt like she wasn't really pronouncing her L's like they should be pronounced. They sounded like W's. I'm gonna see if I can find it in my notes. Oh yeah, she would say like people, wonderful, wonderful, and school. It sounded like it was like a W, where I said it should be wonderful with wonderful, people, school. And someone made this comment, shouldn't the dark L sound like a vowel? And that's a really good question. So there are some, like it does behave like a vowel, but there still is the tongue. Your tongue is still going to touch here. So it still will be school. Oh, school. But like your tongue might go back here. But it might sound like a vowel, especially if you're not familiar with the L sound, but your tongue should always touch. So school. Yeah, kind of exaggerated there, but school. If I open my mouth, you can see my tongue is up. It's not school, it's school, 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 right? So I'm hoping that helps. But I know when you're first learning certain sounds that are not in your language, it will sound like something else. So that's totally normal. Mm, all right. I see the more comments. Hello, Jakarta. Where is that? I think I've heard of it, but I don't know where it is. And I might have even said it incorrectly, and I'm really sorry. I love seeing where everyone's from. Super cool. Next part. We're ready. We're ready for shadow time. Does anyone have a request? A request for what kind of phrases or situations do you want to practice? I'll give you guys like 30. Oh, Jakarta's in Indonesia. I'll give you about like a minute or so. I'm opening it up to TikTok as well. TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. What situations do you want me to um like help you practice saying phrases? All right, so I see my problem to speaking fluently. How can you help me? I guess what is your question? Like, what's your goal? Do you want to learn how to connect words together? Do you want to learn how to have conversational English? Depending on what your exact goal is, I'll have a different piece of advice. Tanzania. How can I know I'm done and okay with English? It's a good question. All right. Hello, hello. I'm just going to choose because I don't see anyone sharing what they want to do. Uh, mm, you know what? Let's say you're going to go to the doctor. I'm going to actually open up my ChatGPT here and we are going to do this together. I'm going to share my screen. Mm-mm-mm. And so, can you share with me sentences and phrases a person would use if they were at if they were booking no, going to see a doctor, right? So, let's say you live in the United States or you live in Canada and you need to see a doctor and it's scary. It's kinda scary to know, like, how do I say things? We're gonna practice right now. So, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to give me 15, 15. Then after that, we are going to practice together. To make sure my tool is working. Ooh, I like this. Okay. Can you rewrite? So you're going to see how I use ChatGPT to practice connected speech. Can you rewrite these sentences? Um, putting the nuclear, no, putting the stressed syllables in caps, so capital letters. Um, share where the nuclear stress is, and mention notes about intonation and rhythm that might be helpful for an English learner. I feel like I should put this on my I feel like I should send this prompt out to my email list, because it's really good. Also, please, write the French translation. So, let's say French is not your first language, you can insert your language. Please write the French translation below each line. as well. Yeah, let's just do that. Get close to this here. Um, and that should be a question mark. And don't judge me if I made any typos because that's kind of what I do when I write sometimes. Hi, doctor. I've had a backache for 3 days. We wouldn't say 3 days long. Let's say for 3 days because it's been 3 days. All right. Okay. Um, are you ready, StreamYard? By StreamYard, I mean, by StreamYard, I mean YouTube and Facebook. All right, let's practice. If you can't see my screen, TikTok, it's because you're not on YouTube or Facebook with me. So I'm going to get my little marker ready here. Okay, this is really driving me crazy. All right. I don't know if you can see I'm having technical difficulties, which I often do with this program. I'm going to stop sharing for a second just because I want to fix something. I'm going to try to refresh that. So the program that I normally write on the screen with, it does this to me very often, actually. But okay, good. It looks like it's back. Thank you for your patience. So Walid, I think it's Walid. How do you connect in the? Do you mean like INTHE, like as in a sentence? I can definitely share that with you. Um, right. Yeah, so in the. It's like in. I'm actually gonna. Should I stop sharing the screen just so that you can see me? Probably. So so you can see that with the TH that it goes between your teeth. I'm exaggerating a lot. But in, so with the N it goes here the, in in the morning. And I exaggerate it, but if I'm saying it faster, you may not see my tongue, but it is between my teeth. So in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, you see in the. So that's how you do it. It might not feel natural, but the more you practice it, and especially get feedback from an accent coach or native speaker that you're saying it right, but practice it, practice it, practice it, and it will become natural. Good evening, Kim. Good evening. All right, so back to the shadow time. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Hopefully this time it's going to be successful. Okay, so it's only letting me do 5 points. So first, we're going to look at the stress. Appointment. Appointment. So point is what has the stress. Appointment. And with Dr. Smith. Smith is the nuclear stress. So I have an appointment with Dr. Smith at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. All right. This have. It ends. Oh, I didn't think it was going to be that big. It ends with a V sound. And the next one starts with a vowel sound. So have an appointment. So have an appointment. So that it's almost like the consonant here, it scoots over and starts the next word when there's a vowel. I have an appointment. I have an appointment. So feel free to shadow me. I know someone said it's really annoying when I put my hand out, but that's my visual. I have an appointment with Dr. Smith. I have an appointment. I have an appointment with Dr. Smith at 10 a.m. You notice that? The T at ends with a T sound, that starts with a T sound. You're gonna put it together at 10 a.m., at 10. So it's like the T is a little bit longer. At 10 a.m., at 10 a.m., at 10 a.m. Hi, I have an appointment with Dr. Smith at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. Hi, I have an appointment with Dr. Smith at 10 a.m. Yep. That's if you already have an appointment. Let's say you don't have an appointment yet. Let's look at it again. Appointment. Appointment. Stress on the point. I'd like I'd like to make notice this word individually, it's like 2, like the number 2. But in connected speech, this will help with your rhythm and intonation in English. It's reduced to t, okay? So we have 2 t. 2 turns into t. I'd like to make I'd like to make, and this is a consonant here, make an make an appointment. I'd like to make an appointment, please. I'd like to make an appointment, please. I'd like to make an appointment, please. I got a question on TikTok, which I kind of see once in a while. They said, "What's the difference between the pronunciation of work, WORK, and work with an ED at the end?" The ED in this word turns into a T sound, work, and then worked, t, T, like the T. Work, worked, work, worked. Okay. And sorry, I'm not really answering questions on TikTok, but I probably will once I end my YouTube live, just to stay on track with what I'm doing. And let's move down to the next one. And okay. So let's say you go to the doctor's office and it's a walk-in clinic, okay? I don't know if in the United States they say a different word. In English Canada, we say a walk-in clinic. This means that you don't have to book an appointment before you go to the doctor. Um, some are appointment only, some are walk-in clinics. Walk-in clinics means that you can just go to the doctor and say, "Hi, I'd like to see a doctor." And then hopefully you'll be able to see a doctor that day. I live in Quebec. They speak French. Side note, I feel like you can't really see a doctor when you wanna see a doctor. It's so sad. They have such it's just not easy. It's not easy needing to see a doctor in Quebec if you don't have a family doctor. But where I'm from, at least in Saskatchewan, if you want to see a doctor, you can see a doctor the same day, okay? Um, like in a walk-in clinic, okay? Walk-in clinic, okay. So this next sentence is going to be um for if you go to a walk-in clinic and you want to know how long the wait is gonna be. Because sometimes it might be just 10 minutes, sometimes it might be a few hours, right? You wanna know before you commit to seeing a doctor at that clinic. Um, cool, and Josue says, "Hello, I am from Maine," or "I need to learn English." That's cool. Alright, so the stress is on long wait, okay? So how long will the wait be? And you notice that I don't say wait. I mean, you could, but I make it into a glottal stop, which I will put that in the description of my YouTube video, not Facebook, because Facebook limits me to links. So instead of saying wait, where I let the T pop at the end, I kind of say wait. It's like it closes here, but I'm not going to get too much into it because I have videos. I'll link videos. So how long it, how long will the wait be? How long will the wait be? How long will the wait be? Right? So you show up, you say hello. I'd like to see a doctor. Okay. But may I ask, how long will the wait be? How long will the wait be? There's walk-in clinics in Alberta too. I like that. We have them in Quebec, sort of, but like it's funny. I shouldn't get too much off topic, but in Quebec, there's like they say like sans rendezvous or whatever, like without reservation or whatever. But like the doors are closed. It's like Black Friday, I feel like. People line up and you have to like the doors open, people go in and it's like you hope you get a doctor's appointment, which is so bad. So bad. It's so bad here. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm glad they have that in Alberta because Saskatchewan is nice too, at least where I'm from. All right, next one. The stress is going to be in doctor, doctor, and the doctor. And then today, so unstressed, today. Oops, I got excited and I accidentally pressed something. Today, so today, that makes sense. I'm going like this to show you where the stress is. So doctor, doc is where the stress is. Doctor, today, urgent, urgent. So the main stress is on today, day, and urgent. Okay. And right here, you'll see it ends with an N. A consonant starts with a vowel. So it's going to go like the N's going to start the next one. Can I? Can I? Can I see the doctor today? Can I see the doctor today? Can I? Can I? Can I see the doctor today? It's kind. Okay. Right here we have kind of. Okay. Technically, like I said, if it's a consonant here, it's starting a vowel sound. It's like the D goes over. Kind of. Kind of. Okay. With kind of, you may know this. In connected speech, many native speakers will say kinda, like kinda with an A. Sorry, my ink is disappearing and I don't know how to use this program. Kinda instead of kind of. You could say of. So it's kind of urgent. It's kind of urgent. I made the T pop. You don't need to. You could say urgent as well. It's kind of urgent. It's kind of urgent. Yeah, it's urgent. Can I see the doctor today? It's kind of urgent. All right. So rising tone for the question, can I see a doctor today? Don't say today. No, today. No. I'm going to do the French version as well because I want to start having more French speaking clients and I want to help French doctors. So we don't say, cannot, I'm going to go like this for negative. Do you see it? Can you see it on my other live? When I do the thumbs down, it's because I'm trying to communicate that this is not the American accent. It's not bad to have an American accent. I mean, it's not bad to have an accent in general, okay? But people who watch this generally want to get rid of their accent. So just as a visual, I'm going to say this when I'm doing it incorrectly. I'm doing this when I'm saying it correctly. So um, I'm going to do my French accent, Quebecer accent, and then I'm going to do American accent. Can I see the doctor today? Today? No, today. Can I see the doctor today? Can I see the doctor today? And it's kind of urgent. No, it's kind of urgent, right? It's falling for the statement. It's kind of urgent. It's kind of urgent. Um, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like when English learners hear, oh, like you have a rising tone for the question, there's something weird and dramatic about it. So just be careful you're not saying today. No, today. Can I see the doctor today? Today? All right. All right. I just wanted to say that. Again, it's not bad to have an accent, but I just want you to hear and feel the differences if having more of an American accent is your goal. Next one, you're explaining symptoms. Feeling. Feel has the stress. Feeling. And late in lately. Lately. Okay. You notice I don't always say lately, I say lately. lately. I think it's the glottal stop I'm doing there. I haven't. And notice I won't always pronounce the T here. I don't, yeah, you can. You could say, I haven't been. Okay, wait. Let's go here. Been, Americans, Canadians, we will pronounce it as, oh, what's going on here? I'm going to try to make it so it doesn't disappear. B-I-N. B-I-N. We pronounce it as been, okay? So you could say, I haven't been, but we say been. So if you want to sound really like a native speaker, been instead of being. So I haven't been it sounds so weird. I say been. I'm going to say been because it sounds more natural. And I also personally don't pronounce the T here. You can, I don't. And when I do pronounce the T here, I start saying this unnaturally. So I'm just going to say it naturally. I haven't been. So I don't pronounce the T. You can, okay? Some Americans will. I don't. I haven't been. And someone asked, how can they find me on YouTube? I'm just going to write this down really quick. So I haven't been feeling well lately. I haven't been feeling well lately. So I'm writing something while I'm speaking and I can tell that I'm not fully concentrated. All right, this is my well, it's kind of big, but that is my YouTube channel name. So I haven't been feeling well lately. Lately, feeling. So I haven't been feeling well lately. Good. I'm hoping that helps. And next, I'm going to scroll down to the next things that we can say here. I'm going to go up to number 8. No, I'm going to go up to number 7, and then we're going to see if there's any questions or comments on my YouTube channel, just to make sure that if anyone has any questions, I can help them. Okay, next one. You're explaining. Where do we want to have pain? Okay. All right, so we have having, have. That's what the stress is. Having. So the stress is in having, pain, and then we can decide where we want the pain to be. So I'm going to say the 3 places that are shown here on ChatGPT. Stomach. Be careful. The CH is a k sound. Stomach. And it's not stomach. It's stomach. It's like ick. Stomach, stomach, stomach. Back, head. And someone said that they want to, can you make a shadow to learn more and repeat after you? I'm doing that now on YouTube. So if you want to watch all my shadow videos, I have a whole playlist on connected speech, shadow me. I have a whole playlist on common English mistakes. Go check it out. So remember, being Americans, Canadians will often say been. I've been having pain in my stomach. I've been having pain in my stomach. I've been having pain in. Notice that, notice that, notice that. Pain, it's a consonant. It's before a vowel sound. Pain in, pain in. I've been having pain in my stomach. Or I've been having pain in my back. In my back. All right. I've been having pain in my stomach. I've been having pain in my back. Sorry, I should give you more time to repeat. I've been having pain in my head. Or we can also say, I've been having a lot of headaches. I usually say that instead of pain in my head. Headaches. That's what I would say. Next, don't be confused. The GH, it's actually going to be pronounced as an F sound. Remember, F, your lip, your teeth up here are going to be on your bottom lip or touching it. Cough. So cough, cough. So the stress is cough. Then in about, it's about. Bout is stressed in about. Week. So cough, bout, week. are going to be stressed in this sentence. I've had be careful if French is your first language. If there's an H, generally we pronounce it. This is also a problem for Italians, Nigerians. I know I've seen that. There's an H, generally we pronounce it unless there's an exception. So I've had this cough for about a week. Notice four. It could be pronounced as 1, 2, 3, 4, but in connected speech to get the rhythm of a native speaker, very often you'll pronounce it as F-E-R or F-U-R. Depends on what helps you. So fur instead of for in connected speech, usually if it's in the middle of a sentence. But if it's at the end of a sentence, yeah, we will pronounce it as for, like the number 4. But in this example, I'm going to say fur, okay? Because it's reduced. Ends with an R. So it's kind of scooting over to start this vowel sound for about a week. And about this turns into a D because it's between 2 vowels. So about a week. For about a week. Hola. This cough for about a week. For about a week. I really wish my drawing would stay and not disappear. So I've had this cough for about a week. I've had this cough for about a week. Okay, and then I'm going to end. No, I'm not going to end. I'm going to take a pause there and I'm going to check this out, see if there's any questions. So someone says, hola, or hi from Mexico. Hola, Mexico. Hola, desde Canada. Hi, teacher. When I get to Canada, where do you teach your classes? I teach it on Zoom, so you don't have to wait until you're in Canada. You can just, but I I should reiterate here. I don't give regular English classes anymore. I don't do conversation classes generally anymore. I do accent reduction programs. So if you want to improve your pronunciation, improve your accent, have more of a Canadian/American accent, I have my programs. If you go to my website, American Accent Training with Jess.com, not .ca. I know it's kind of confusing because I'm Canadian. .com. I have a list of all my services, whether it be accent assessments. I have a quick 4-day TH challenge to help you improve your TH sound. I have 5-week boot camps. Check it out. So, hi, teacher. I'm from Brazil. Brazil. I love it. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. I'm so happy to help. And good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I think I actually already put your comment up. Put it up twice. Can you give an example for I'd? I actually did. I don't know if you were here, but I can do it. Um, so I'd means I would. So when we're making like a polite request, I'm going to write it right now just so you can see it. So instead of saying like I would like, um, I would like, actually, I'll write this first. Like, oops, please don't judge my writing. I'm writing it really fast. So for example, I would like, it turns into I'd like. Okay. So I'd like an appointment, please. And I actually just did this example. So if you want to see it more in detail, you can check it out on the replay. But I'd like an appointment. So because there is a consonant here ending, starts a vowel, it's like the consonant scoots over and it starts the next word. I'd like an appointment, please. Good. So I'm hoping that helps. All right, sending love from Philippines. I love it. Salamat. Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm happy to help. All right. See if there's any quick questions that I see really quick on TikTok. I would like to improve my English skills. I've been visiting Vancouver, Canada. Paradise. You're from Mexico. I remember saying that. Vancouver's nice. Vancouver's really nice. I was there. Yeah, I was there not so long ago. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. We are going to do some more shadow time. Um, and again, if you are a client of mine and you want to check or verify your pronunciation, verify that your stress and intonation is correct, feel free to record yourself. And even if you're not a client, record me speaking, record yourself repeating, record me speaking, record yourself repeating, and listen back. See what sounds right, what doesn't. That's something anyone can do. But if you are a client, though, feel free to send me those recordings, or we can look over those recordings on our next Zoom call so that I can help you, identify what sounds off. So if you're a client, I can definitely listen to that for you. Do I speak Portuguese? No, but I know like obrigada, ciao. That's it. All right. Now I'm gonna see. Man, I swear I change this all the time, and it just something happens. But let's hope this works. Okay, we are going to go to number 8. Before I do that, I'm gonna scroll. I'm going to go back there again. Technology is not always the easiest, is it? Auto fade off. Okay, so it should not fade. All right. I'm going to give a quick note for French speakers. Oh, I love the sticker. Thank you. A quick note for French speakers, Italians, Nigerians. I know that for sure. If there is an H, we pronounce it. So it hurts. Oh, before we do that, let's look at the stress. Hurts. Breathe. And swallow. Swallow. Swall has the stress. Swallow. Move. Arm. Okay. And before we even repeat, since my marker's working, I'm going to say because there is an N, it's going to kind of start the next sound when I. Okay. Move my. It's kind of the Y acts as a consonant sound. My arm. My arm. Okay. All right. So it hurts when I breathe. 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 Okay, now we're going to do swallow. It hurts when I swallow. It hurts when I swallow. So swallow is like when you drink water and then you bring it down, or you're chewing on food and then you swallow. You have a sore throat. So it hurts when I breathe. It hurts when I swallow. It hurts when I move my arm. Be careful, Quebecers. Be careful, French speakers. Arm, there's no H. It's not my arm. No, my arm. If it helps you, think of it as YARM, because technically, like I said, it's like consonant sound. The vowel starts the next sound. So you can say my arm, my arm. Okay. It hurts when I move my arm. It hurts when I move my arm. It hurts when I move my arm. Good. Next. Um, dizzy. Dizzy. Okay. Um, And I see someone asking if I teach one-on-one. I do. It's a lot more pricey, but I also do group coaching. And at this point, nobody's in my group coaching program. So if you join my group coaching, it's very possible you might be the only person. But check my website out. Oh, it erased. American Accent Training with Jess.com. It'll say all your options. But if you have any questions, send me a DM, a direct message on Instagram, because I can definitely help you. It would be my pleasure. Dizzy, weak. That's where the stress is. So I feel dizzy and weak. And you notice I don't say and. I can. And dizzy and weak. Or it can be dizzy and weak, where it's just like an N. I feel dizzy. I feel dizzy and weak. I don't know how to post my URL on YouTube. I'm sorry. Or I mean on TikTok. I'm sorry. But it's American Accent Training with Jess. Next, remember we ended with a consonant here. Starts with a vowel. Think I. Think I. I think I. The T is optional. I feel like I pronounce it more as a glottal stop. Might have. Might have. Oh, might have. You know what? I'm not even gonna comment on that. Have a fever. Okay, so fever is where the stress is. Fever, fever. I think I might have a fever. I think I might have a fever. I think I might have a fever. Okay. Next, we're going to remove all of the writing. And if you're wondering why you can't see what I'm talking about, it's because it's showing on my YouTube. And TikTok wants me to prove that I'm a person. There we go. All right. Now we're in the consultation. You are seeing a doctor. You're seeing a doctor. Just going to make sure that my pen is good. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. I don't know if it's the doctor or the patient. Oh no, it'd be the doctor saying this. Okay. Here's the stress. It, it, it. I popped the T at the end, but you don't need to. I will say it, where it's like glottal stop. Again, check down below my YouTube video. You'll see what I mean by glottal stop. It. And serious, serious, serious. See, right? How serious is it? Serious is it? So this is how serious is it? And this is a Z, the second one. So is it? Is it? How serious is it? How serious is it? How serious is it? Okay, so I think it's the doctor um asking that. I mean, if I would imagine. Next, need, then tests, tests. Okay. And ooh, this is a good moment here. Do I, there kind of is a little a W shadow. Do I in between? Because sometimes people will say, do I? How do I put it together? Do I? It's a W. Need, because it's a consonant here, it's starting with a vowel. Need any tests. Need any. Need any. Let's put it together. Do I need any tests? Do I need any tests? Do I need any tests? Doctor, do I need any tests? Okay. Next. How long will it, okay, will it take to, remember, you can pronounce it as to, but generally in connected speech, we will pronounce to, like T-O, as ta. Okay, it helps with the rhythm of English. To recover. But let's look at the stress really quickly. Recover, recover. Take, long. Okay, how long? How long will it take? How long will it take? How long will it take to recover? To recover. How long will it take to recover? Okay. I'm going to do up to the end. I think there's 15 sentences, and then I will check to see if there's any questions. All right. Hmm. And I'm going to go back to having my marker. Okay. So let's say you get a medication and you want to know if there's any side effects. I usually don't ask that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I usually don't. Because the benefits usually outweigh it. But side effects. So effects in effects has the stress. Are there any? Are there any side effects? So remember, it ends with a vowel, consonant sound, starts with a vowel sound. Are there any? Are there any side effects? Side effects. Are there any side effects? Maybe you're a little bit worried about the medication. Are there any side effects? Side effects? Side effects? Are there any side effects? Yep. Yep. Good, good, good. Next, should. Remember, we never pronounce the L, okay? I just wanna put this out there really quick because this is a very common thing I see with my students. With would, it there's no L, okay? Doot, doot. It's pronounced like would, okay? Boop, boop. Would, and it rhymes with should and could, okay? So it's pronounced like this: would, should, could. Would, should, could. No L is being pronounced here. I know there's an L. I don't know why, but there's no L, like, in the pronunciation, right? Should I remember, because the D, it's a consonant, it's followed by a Y sound or Y sound, sorry, an I sound vowel. Should I? Should I take time off work? Time is where the stress is. Work. Should I take time off work? Time off. Time off work. Should I take time off work? Should I take time off work? All right. There's something else I was thinking of sharing, but I think I'll skip that for now. We've been live for an hour. This is crazy. I'm going to check out the questions, see if there's anything else. And as always, if you want to improve your pronunciation and accelerate your accent reduction journey and start making lasting and permanent changes to your accent, I have a free gift for you. It's a guide, a free guide with my top 5 tips to help you improve your accent effectively and permanently. So if that interests you, comment top tips on my YouTube and Facebook. I don't think Facebook's really going to respond to that, but on my YouTube, and you'll find out how to get my free guide. So if you're watching this as the replay, there should be a video popping up right here. It looks like I don't really have that many questions. I see a hello teacher from Cambodia. Hello. And I also have a really nice wish here. Thank you so much, Facebook and YouTube. And I think we're done for the day. So if you're watching the replay, there should be a video popping up here, and I'm going to end my YouTube and Facebook live stream. So take care, guys. And I really appreciate you guys coming out. Take care.